All aboard. I said all aboard. Welcome to the Monday edition of the Sports Report Express. I am Sportscaster 89 coming to you doing our Sports Report Express today on this Monday. I hope you all had a terrific weekend. I hope all the mothers out there had a happy Mother's Day yesterday. Today we got a lot to cover on the Monday Sports Report Express train. We're going to start with some minor league baseball first. We got the Chelsea Mets report to give you today. We're going to do all that. Then we're going to cover the NBA, the NHL, and the NBA. Like I said, we're going to cover it all today. We're going to cover the St. Louis Mets first. As you guys see, I have my St. Louis Mets t-shirt on today. I have my St. Louis Mets cap. First of all, I'm Sportscaster 89, aspiring to be a sportscaster, as you all know. I am a Special Sport athlete, as you all know. Special USA games are a year from now in Orlando, and I will give you a few updates, which are very, very important. So stick and stay after the report. I'll give you all those updates in regards to the USA games. We'll give you all the updates after our Sports Report Express train today. So stick and stay for that. I also have an announcement for you all in regards to the NFL schedule release. We'll do that today as well. So I'll do all that afterwards. But first, we're going to cover the St. Louis Mets. Then we're going to cover the MLB. We're going to chat the NBA. We're going to chat the NHL. We're going to chat all the standings for you all. And we're going to do the hot-button topics around the NHL, around NBA, and Major League Baseball. And we'll go from there. And like I said, stick and stay after the report. I have a few announcements for you all that you're going to need to know. So before we get started today, guys, please like and subscribe on my YouTube channel at Sportscaster89. Again, please like and subscribe on my YouTube channel at Sportscaster89. You're rocking and rolling today with the Sports Report Express train. You're rolling on it. You're hopping aboard it. Let's get started today. We're going to start with the St. Louis Mets. You guys know they played a 6-game series yesterday. They wrapped it up against Jupiter yesterday at home. Hammerheads win a wild affair. The Mets finish up their homestand winning 4 out of 6. Like I said, the Mets finish up their homestand winning 4 out of 6. Jupiter got the win yesterday afternoon, a wild affair. They defeated the Mets yesterday by a final score of 7-5. Once again, Jupiter defeated the Mets yesterday afternoon from Clover Park in St. Louis West by a final score of 7-5. The Mets lost this one by 2 runs. So let's take a look at what happened yesterday at Clover Park. Jupiter escapes with a wild victory yesterday in the series finale between the Mets and the Hammerheads. They won this one by 2 in a wild one. The Hammerheads scored the tie-breaking run on a controversial play in the 8th with 1 out and a runner on 3rd. Hammerheads Nasim Nunez hits a ground ball to Mets shortstop Brandon Fryman, who quickly threw home in plenty of time to get J.D. Orr. However, the home plate umpire ruled the catcher, Matt Dye, did not tag Orr and called Orr safe to give the Hammerheads a 1-run lead at the time. Next, Jupiter added an insurance run later in the inning on a 2-out RBI single by Victor Mesa Jr. Justin Sterner was able to hold off the Mets off the scoreboard the final 2 innings to preserve the victory for the Hammerheads, winning this one by a couple, 7-5. The Mets ended up taking 4 of 6 from the Hammerheads in this series. Let's recap a little bit as well. The Hammerheads jumped out to a 4-0 lead in the first 2 innings. The Mets came back. They bowed to briefly take a 1-run lead at the time. Pierre Crow Armstrong delivered a 2-run single in the 4th to tie the game at 4. Shurian Newton put a ball in play later in the inning that resulted in an error, which allowed Cole Kelzik to score the go-ahead run. The Hammerheads tied the game at 5 on a 2-out RBI single by Mesa Jr. in the 6th. Curl Armstrong went 3 for 5 in the loss. Francisco Alvarez was 1 for 3 with a double, 2 walks, an RBI, and a run. The Mets are off today. It's a universal off day in minor league baseball today. It's a universal off day for the Mets before they return to the Diamond in action tomorrow night. They'll start a 6-game road swing in Daytona. Then they'll start a 6-game road swing at Palm Beach. So first pitch is tomorrow night at 7:05. You can catch it on the radio at stlouismets.com. Adam McDonald will have the call for you at Jackie Robinson Ballpark tomorrow night. St. Lucie Mets pregame will start at 6:55. First pitch is slated for 7:05. It's Daytona against St. Lucie from Jackie Robinson Ballpark in Daytona. Adam McDonald will have the call for you at 7:05. Pregame for the St. Lucie Mets Baseball Network will be at 6:55, so you can catch the game tomorrow night if you want to listen. At stluciemets.com, you can listen to all the games this season, called by Adam McDonald. He'll have the ads for you from Jackie Robinson Ballpark in Daytona starting tomorrow night, the first of a six-game series between Daytona and St. Lucie. St. Lucie is still in first place by themselves. Let's take a look at the standings. Let's take a look at the up-to-the-date standings right now in the Low A Southeast. If we take a look, Daytona and St. Lucie are tied for first at the top in the Low A Southeast. St. Lucie and Daytona are tied atop at the Low A Southeast at 4-2, followed by Jupiter and Palm Beach at 2-4, respectively. Over in the West Division, you got Tampa in first at 5-1, followed by Bradenton, Clearwater, Fort Myers, Lakeland, and Dunedin, rounding out your standings in Low A Southeast. Once again, let's go over the standings for you all in Low A Southeast, where the Mets are right now. They're in the first place tie right now. Daytona at 4-2 at the top, followed by Jupiter at 2-4, and the Palm Beach Cardinals with the same record at 2-4. Over in the Low A Southeast West Division, it'll be Tampa at 5-1, Bradenton at 3-3, Clearwater at 3-3, Fort Myers at 3-3, Lakeland also at 3-3, and Dunedin at 1-5. Now, let's go to Major League Baseball. And don't forget, you guys, like I said, I have a few announcements to make after my Sports Report Express, so stick and stay for that. So let's take a look at Major League Baseball. We'll start with the Bronze Bombers. Yesterday, they got another walk-off victory over the Nationals. They defeated the Washington Nationals 3-2. Aroldis Chapman gets the win for the Bronze Bombers. He goes to 2-0. Brad Hand suffers a loss for Washington. He falls to 2-1. The Bronze Bombers defeat the Nationals in walk-off style by a run, 3-2. Next, we had the Camden Yards in Baltimore. It was the Red Sox taking on the Orioles. The Red Sox get the victory over Baltimore by a final score of 4-3. Pivetta gets the win for Boston. The loss goes to Kramer for Baltimore, and Barnes gets his 8th save of the season for the Red Sox. The Red Sox defeat the O's by a final score of 4-3. Next, we had the Citi Field in Flushing, New York, as Jacob deGrom left the game yesterday after 5 innings with an injury. So the Mets get the win yesterday over Arizona by a final score of 4-2. Jacob deGrom gets the win for the Mets. He goes to 3-2 on the year. Smith drops to 1-2. Edwin Diaz picks up his 5th save of the season for the New York Mets. The Mets defeat the D-backs at Citi Field yesterday by a final score of 4-2. It was an extra innings affair in Miami at loanDepot Park as the Marlins took on the Brewers in the finale of a 3-game series. The Brewers get the extra innings victory yesterday by a final score of 2-1. Josh Hader gets the win for Milwaukee, goes to 3-0 on the year. Brandon Bass goes to 1-3 for Miami, and Rasmussen gets the save for Milwaukee. The Brewers get the series win over the Marlins, 2-1. Next, we head to Minute Maid Park in Houston, where the Astros and Blue Jays wrapped up their weekend series in Houston. The Astros get the victory over Toronto by a final score of 7-4. Abreu gets the win for Houston. Pearson gets a loss for Toronto. Presley gets his 6th save of the season for the Astros. The Astros win the series over the Blue Jays by a final score of 7-4. Next, we had the Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City as the White Sox took on the Royals yesterday in the finale of their series. The White Sox get the win over Kansas City by a final score of 9-3. Lucas Giolito gets the win for the White Sox. Mike Minor gets a loss for Kansas City. The White Sox defeat the Royals yesterday by a final score of 9-3 at Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City. Next, we had the Busch Stadium in St. Louis. It's the Cardinals getting the shutout win over Colorado at home yesterday by a final score of 2-0. Adam Wainwright gets the win for St. Louis. Marquez gets the loss for Colorado. Helsley gets the save for St. Louis, his first of the season. The Cardinals shut out the Rockies 2-0. Next, we had the Wrigley Field in Chicago. The Northsiders, the Chicago Cubs, took on the Pirates. The Pirates get the victory by a run over the Cubs. The Cubs were down by 4 runs in the bottom of the ninth. They got 3, but they fell a run short as the Pirates got great pitching from Tyler Anderson. He goes 3-3 for Pittsburgh. Hendricks gets a loss for the Chicago Cubs. And Richard Rodriguez gets his 6th save for the Pirates. The Pirates hold on over the Cubs yesterday by a run, 6-5. Next, we had the Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas. It was the Rangers and Mariners finishing up their series in Arlington yesterday afternoon from Globe Life Field in Texas. It was the Texas Rangers getting the 10-2 victory over Seattle. Sheffield suffers a defeat for Seattle. Griffin Dunning gets the win for Texas. He goes to 2-2. Sheffield drops to 2-3 on the season for Seattle. The Rangers defeat the Mariners 10-2. Next, we had the Oracle Park in San Francisco. It was the Padres and the Giants going at it yesterday. The Padres get the victory over the Giants by a final score of 11-1. Weathers gets the win for San Diego. He goes to 2-1. Johnny Cueto suffers a defeat for San Francisco. He falls to 1-2 on the season. The Padres beat the Giants yesterday at Oracle Park in San Francisco 11-1. Next, we had the Angels Stadium in Anaheim as the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim took on the LA Dodgers in the Freeway Series. The Angels get the victory over their Freeway Series rival, the Dodgers, yesterday by a final score of 2-1. Sledgers gets the win for the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. He goes 2-0. Trevor Bauer suffers a loss for Los Angeles. He goes 2-3. Iglesias gets his 5th save of the season for the Angels. The Angels squeak out the victory over the Dodgers 2-1. We go to Oakland yesterday as the Rays wrapped up their series against the Oakland A's. The Rays get the win over Oakland yesterday by a final score 4-3. Springs gets the win for Tampa Bay. He goes to 3-1. Irving gets the loss for Oakland. He falls to 3-4. And Josh Kittredge gets his 2nd save of the season for the Tampa Bay Rays. The Rays defeat the A's yesterday by a final score of 4-3. Finally, we had Sunday Night Baseball last night from Truist Park in Atlanta. It was the Phillies and Braves going at it. The Braves defeat the Phillies last night by a final score of 6-1. Aaron Nola suffers a defeat for Philadelphia. He goes to 2-3. Oscar Yanoa gets the win for Atlanta. He goes to 4-1 on the season. The Braves defeat the Phillies last night at Truist Park Sunday Night Baseball 6-1. Yanoa gets the win at 4-1. Aaron Nola gets a loss at 3-2. Let's go to tonight's action across Major League Baseball. And this evening, we have for you the Pirates taking on the Reds at 6:35 at PNC Park in Pittsburgh. It'll be Maile for the Cincinnati Reds against Keller and the Pirates. Reds Pirates going at it. PNC Park in the start of a series there tonight at PNC Park in Pittsburgh. The Reds and Pirates going at it. It's Maile against Keller for the Pittsburgh Pirates. It's the Red Sox and Orioles wrapping up their 4-game series from Camden Yards. It'll be Perez on the mound for Boston. He's 0-2 against Lopez for the Baltimore Orioles at 1-3. The Red Sox and Orioles wrap up their series from Baltimore tonight at 7:05. Perez on the mound for the Red Sox against Lopez and the Baltimore Orioles. Next, we head to Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas. The Angels will start a series in Houston against the Astros. It'll be Garcia on the mound for the Houston Astros. The starter for the Angels has yet to be determined. We'll let you know a little later on who that starting pitcher will be for the Angels tonight against the Astros. 8:10 first pitch. The Angels and Astros will start a series from Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas. Next, we had the Coors Field in Denver. It's the Padres taking on the Rockies. Lamet will be on the mound for the Padres against Santella for Colorado. It's the Rockies and Padres game 1 of a series from Coors Field in Colorado. Lamet on the mound for San Diego against Santella for Colorado. 8:40 Eastern time. Next, the Marlins will start on the road. They start their Western Conference. They start their West Coast trip tonight with the first of 4 in Arizona against the Diamondbacks. It'll be Luke Weaver on the mound for the D-backs. The Marlins star has not been determined as of yet. We'll let you know a little later on who the Marlins star will be against the D-backs tonight from Chase Field in Arizona. It's Luke Weaver on the mound for Arizona. The star for Miami has yet to be determined. We'll let you know a little later. First pitch slated for 9:40 tonight from the Valley of the Sun in Chase Field. Marlins D-backs, 9:40. And finally, to wrap up the slate on this Monday Sports Report Express train in Major League Baseball, it's the Texas Rangers on the road at Oracle Park to take on the San Francisco Giants in the first of a 2-game series. Kyle Gibson on the mound for Texas, 3-0 in the season. Alex Wood will be on the mound for San Francisco. He's also 3-0. It's the Giants and the Rangers going at it at 9:45 tonight, the first of a 2-game set between these two teams at Oracle Park in San Francisco. Kyle Gibson against Alex Wood for the San Francisco Giants. Now, let's take a look at the up-to-the-date standings in Major League Baseball, everyone. Now, we'll start in the American League East. It's the Boston Red Sox at 22-13, followed by the Bronx Bombers at 18-16. The Tampa Bay Rays right there at 19-17. The Toronto Blue Jays at 17-16, and the Baltimore Orioles at 15-19. Now, let's head to the American League Central we go. It's the White Sox number 1, followed by the Indians, the Royals, the Twins, and the Tigers. Now, over in the American League West we go. It's the Oakland A's number 1, the Houston Astros number 2, the Seattle Mariners number 3, the Texas Rangers number 4, and the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim number 5 at 15-18. Now, let's head to the National League. We'll start in the National League East. The Mets are in first at 16-13. They've won 5 in a row, followed by the Phillies at a game over 500 at 18-17. Then it's the Braves at 500 at 17-17. The Marlins right there at 15-18, and the Washington Nationals at 13-17. Now, to the National League Central we go. The Cardinals are number 1, followed by the Brewers, the Cubs, the Reds, and the Pirates. Next, let's head to the National League West. It's the Giants number 1 at 20-14, followed by the Padres in second at 19-16. The World Series champion Dodgers in third at 18-17. The Arizona Diamondbacks at 15-19, and the Colorado Rockies 10 games under 500 at 12-22. Let's repeat the standings for you all one more time. It's the Boston Red Sox number 1 in the American League East at 22-13, followed by the Bronx Bombers at 18-16, the Tampa Bay Rays at 19-17, the Toronto Blue Jays at 17-16, and the Baltimore Orioles at 15-19. Now, to the American League Central we go once again. The Chicago White Sox are number 1 at 19-13 on the season, followed by the Indians at 18-14, the Kansas City Royals at 16-17, the Minnesota Twins at 12-20, and the Detroit Tigers in last at 10-24, 14 games under 500. Now, to the American League West we go. It's the Oakland A's number 1 at 21-15, followed by the Astros in second at 18-16. Then it's the Mariners at a game above 500 at 18-17, the Rangers at 500 at 18-18, and the Angels, the Los Angeles Angels, at 15-18. And now, over to the National League we go, everyone. In the National League East, it's the Mets number 1. They've won 5 in a row at 16-13, followed by the Phillies at 18-17, the Atlanta Braves at 17-17, the Miami Marlins at 15-18, and the Washington Nationals at 13-17. In the National League Central, it's the St. Louis Cardinals number 1 at 21-14, the Brewers in second at 19-16, the Cubs at 500 at 17-17, the Cincinnati Reds at 15-16, and the Pittsburgh Pirates 5 games under 500 at 14-19. Now, to the National League West we go. The Giants are number 1 at 20-14, the San Diego Padres in second at 19-16, the World Series champion Dodgers in third at 18-17, The Arizona Diamondbacks in fourth at 15-19, and the Colorado Rockies last in the division at 10 games below 500 at 12-22. Now, let's go to the NBA. Okay, guys, we're going to the NBA. Let's take a look at last night's action in the association. There was a huge upset last night. We'll tell you in the scores from the association last night. Let's take a look. We also got to tell you a team that got a big win yesterday afternoon. That was the Knicks yesterday. They got a win over the Clippers yesterday by 6, 106-100. The Heat defeat the Celtics in the first of a 2-game series between these two squads. They'll play each other tomorrow night. The Heat win this one by 6 over Boston, 130-124. The Pelicans get a big win last night in Charlotte, winning by 2 over the Hornets, 112-110. The Mavericks blow out the Cavs last night in Cleveland by a final score of 124-97. The Timberwolves blow out the Magic 128-96. The Bulls defeat the Pistons last night 108-96. The Lakers upset the Suns last night. Anthony Davis had 42 on the night last night for LA. They defeat the Suns last night by 13, 123-110. And finally, the Kings defeat the Thunder last night in the first of a 2-game series between these two teams, 126-98. Let's roll the scores one more time for you guys. The Knicks defeat the Clippers by 6 yesterday afternoon from downtown Los Angeles, 106-100. The Heat led by as many as double digits last night against Boston yesterday. They beat the Celtics by 6, 130-124. The Pelicans defeat the Hornets last night in Charlotte by 2, 112-110. The Mavericks blow out the Cavs 124-97. The Timberwolves blow out the Magic 128-96. The Bulls defeat the Pistons last night in Detroit 108-96. The Lakers got 42 points from Anthony Davis in an upset of the Suns by 13, 123-110. And the Kings defeat the Thunder in Golden One Center in Sacramento last night, 126-98. Now, let's head to tonight's action in the NBA. We'll start on NBA TV with a big matchup tonight between playoff implication teams in the East. The Wizards will take on the Hawks at 7:30 on NBA TV. The Cavs are playing a bat-to-bat tonight against Indiana. The Grizzlies will be at home to take on New Orleans. The Spurs will be at home to take on Giannis and the Bucks in San Antonio. The Warriors will be at home to take on the best team in the NBA in the West, the Jazz, at 10 o'clock on NBA TV. And finally, to wrap up the 90 in the association, it's the Rockets and the Trailblazers from Portland at 10 Eastern time. We'll repeat these one more time. The Wizards will take on the Hawks in Atlanta at 7:30 on NBA TV. It's a double dip tonight on NBA TV. The Pacers will take on the Cavs. The Grizzlies will entertain the Pelicans at home. The Spurs will play the Bucks at home in San Antonio. The Jazz will be on the road to take on Steph Curry and the Warriors from Chase Center in San Fran at 10 o'clock on NBA TV. And finally, the Rockets will play the Trailblazers from Portland at 10 Eastern time. We'll take a short break, everyone. We'll be right back for more of the Sports Report Express in a moment. All right, guys. Let's rock and roll with the Sports Report Express and the Matter. We're going to get back to the Sports Report and Matter moments. All right, guys. We just got through. All right, guys. Welcome back to the Sports Report Express train with yours truly, Sportscaster 89. We're about to continue. Let's go to the NHL now. And then we're going to do the standings in the NHL, and then we're going to do the hot button topics of the day, and then we're going to wrap this puppy up for the day, everyone. And I have a few announcements, like I said, before we go today. So stick and stay with everyone. We have a few announcements we need to make. All right. Let's start with yesterday in hockey. I got a feeling there were only 2 games yesterday, but we have to give you the scores of those, so let's go. There were 2 games yesterday in hockey. The Stars lose to the Blackhawks by a final score of 4-2, and the Flames defeat the Senators by a final count of 6-1. Once again, you only had 2 hockey games yesterday on Mother's Day. We'll do them again. We had the Blackhawks defeat the Stars yesterday from Chicago 4-2, and the Flames defeat the Senators by a final score of 6-1. Now we go to tonight's action across the National Hockey League. We have some big games tonight with playoff implications. We're going to start at BB&T Center in Sunrise. It's the Panthers and the Lightning going at it at 7 o'clock. It's a big game with playoff implications for both these teams. The Panthers are third in the Central. The Lightning are second right now. If the Lightning win, they'll get home ice between the Panthers and the Lightning in the first round. Like I said, guys, this is a big game tonight with playoff implications in hockey. The Panthers will take on the Lightning at 7. Next, we had the Philadelphia. It'll be the Devils and Flyers going at it. Next, we go to Montreal. It'll be the Canadiens and the Oilers going at it. Next, we had the Boston at TD Garden. It's the Islanders and the Bruins going at 7 o'clock from Boston. Then we'll go to Winnipeg as the Jets will take on the Canucks at 8. Next is Carolina taking on Nashville. The Dallas Stars will entertain the Blackhawks once again from Chicago. And finally, we have 2 games out west for you this evening. We got the Avalanche going up against Vegas, and we have St. Louis taking on the Los Angeles Kings from downtown Los Angeles at the Staples Center. Let's repeat these games with huge playoff implications tonight in hockey. We'll start in BB&T Center at Sunrise. It's the Lightning and Panthers going at it in a big game with playoff implications. It's at 7. Next, we had the Philadelphia. It's the Flyers and Devils going at it. Next, we go to Montreal. It's the Canadiens and Oilers going at it. Next, we'll head to Boston as the Islanders will take on the Bruins. We'll go to Winnipeg next. It's the Jets taking on the Canucks. The Predators will take on the Hurricanes from Nashville. The Blackhawks will entertain the Stars again from Chicago. And we have 2 games out west for you this evening in hockey. It's the Avalanche against the Golden Knights of Vegas. And then it's the LA Kings in downtown Los Angeles against the St. Louis Blues at 10 Eastern Time. Let's take a look at the up-to-the-date standings in the National Hockey League. We'll start in the Mass Mutual East. It starts with the Penguins, number 1, followed by the Capitals, the Bruins, and the Islanders. The Rangers are outside the top 4. Their season's over. Then it's the Flyers, the Devils, the Sabres. Now, to the Discover Central Division we go. It's Carolina, followed by Florida, Tampa Bay, Nashville. Next, outside the top 4 in the Central, you got Dallas, Chicago, Detroit, Columbus. Now, let's go to the Honda West, everyone. It starts with Vegas, Colorado, Minnesota, St. Louis. Next, outside the top 4 in the Honda West, it's Arizona, followed by San Jose, the Los Angeles Kings, and the Anaheim Ducks. Now, to the Scotia North we go. It's Toronto, Edmonton, Winnipeg, Montreal. After that, it's Calgary, Ottawa, Vancouver. Let's repeat the stage for you all one more time in hockey. It's going to be Pittsburgh, number 1, Washington, followed by Boston, followed by the Islanders. Next, it's the Rangers, the Flyers, the Devils, the Sabres. Over in the Discover Central Division we go. It's Carolina, followed by Florida, Tampa Bay, and Nashville. Next, it's Dallas, Chicago, Detroit, Columbus. Now to the Honda West we go. It's Vegas number 1, followed by Colorado, Minnesota, St. Louis. Next, it's Arizona, San Jose, the Los Angeles Kings, and the Anaheim Ducks. Now to the Scotia North Division we go. It's the Toronto Maple Leafs number 1, followed by Edmonton, Winnipeg, Montreal. Then it's Calgary, Ottawa, Vancouver outside the top 4. Now let's go to the big hot button topic in Major League Baseball, and then we're going to go to the NBA, and then we're going to do the NHL, and then we're going to wrap this Sports Report Express train for the day. And before we wrap it up, I have a few announcements to make. So stick and stay for that. Let's go to the news of the day. We'll do the power rankings. That's going to be the hot button top we're going to discuss in baseball today. So the biggest jump from the power rankings this week was St. Louis jumping up 9 spots from number 15 to number 6. The Cardinals began the season 8-10. They are 3 games out of the National League Central, but since then, they're at MLB best 13-4 and have a 2-game lead in the National League Central. The biggest drop was Milwaukee. They dropped 8 spots from number 6 to number 14, and the Royals dropped 9 spots from number 9 to number 18. It should be noted that Milwaukee took 2 games over Miami. It's also notable that before that, the Brewers were running a 6-game losing streak as well. They're being outscored 39-17. We take a look at the top 5 power rankings. Boston is number 1. They were number 2 last week. Then it's the Giants. They were number 8 last week. Then it's the White Sox number 3. They're 4th last week in the power rankings. The Padres were number 3. They dropped to number 4. Then it's the A's at number 5. They were 11 last week. Here's the rest of the top 30. The Cardinals, the Dodgers, the Bronx Bombers, the Blue Jays, the Astros, the Mets, the Rays, the Phillies, the Brewers, the Indians, the Braves at 16, the Reds, the Royals, the Mariners, the Cubs, the Marlins, the Twins, the Angels, the D-backs, the Nationals, the Rangers, the Orioles, the Pirates, the Rockies, and the Tigers. Once again, we'll repeat the power rankings for this week. The biggest jump was made by St. Louis. They jumped 9 spots from 15 to number 6. The Cardinals started 8-10. They were 3 games out of the National League Central lead. But since then, they're Major League Baseball best 13-4, and they have a 2-game lead in the National League Central. The biggest drop this week was Milwaukee. They dropped 8 spots from number 6 to number 14. The Royals in the American League Central dropped 9 spots this week, from number 9 to number 18. It was known that Milwaukee won 2 out of 3 against the Marlins this weekend in a series in Miami. Before that, Milwaukee had lost 6 in a row. They were outscored 39-17. We'll repeat the power rankings for this week. That's the hot button topic. The Red Sox number 1. They were 2 last week. The Giants number 2. The White Sox number 3. The Padres number 4. The A's number 5. And here's the rest of the top 30 for this week. The Cardinals jumped from number 15 to number 6 this week. The Dodgers are number 7, followed by the Bronx Bombers. The Blue Jays, the Astros, the Mets, the Rays, the Phillies, the Brewers, the Indians, the Braves, the Reds, the Royals, the Mariners, the Cubs, the Marlins, the Twins, followed by the Angels, D-backs, Nationals, Rangers, Orioles, Pirates, Rockies, and Tigers. That is your hot button topic for today in Major League Baseball. And now, let's go to the NBA and find out what everybody's talking about in regards to the hot button topic. We talked about Major League Baseball's hot button topic. Let's talk about the NBA's hot button topic today, everyone. Let's take a look. This is the play-in picture. This is what we're going to talk about today. This is the hot button topic. The play-in tournament is what we're talking about today. The Heat pushed the Celtics to the brink of the play-in tournament. You look at yesterday's game between Miami and Boston. That was a big game yesterday. They play each other one more time tomorrow in a key game tomorrow night with playoff implications. Miami's in the 6th spot right now. Boston's number 7. So, Jimmy Butler put a major dent in Boston's hopes for an outright playoff spot, setting up another key Boston-Miami matchup tomorrow night on TNT. That's a big game tomorrow night for both these teams. Like I said, Miami's number 6 in the East. Boston is number 7. If the play-in tournament will begin today, the Boston Celtics will be in the play-in tournament scenario. So, Boston trailed by as many as 26 yesterday afternoon at home. They fought back, but they lost a pivotal showdown yesterday to Miami, who now has a 2-game lead against Boston for the outright 6th spot in the East. Once again, Miami won yesterday's game by 6. Like I said in the scoreboard, in the NBA, Miami's number 6, Boston's number 7. Boston lost this game. They were down by as many as 26 yesterday. They got to within striking distance in the fourth quarter, but it was not enough. Miami won by 6 over Boston in a key game that has playoff implications in the NBA. So we look, Miami, like I said, they have a 2-game lead in the East over Boston for the 6th spot. You want to avoid the play-in situation, which is 7, 8, 9, 10. You want to avoid being the 7 or 8 team in the East. Same thing in the West. It's a play-in tournament this year, like I said. We look at this game yesterday with Miami and Boston. Miami led by as many as 26 yesterday. They ended up getting the win by 6 over Boston. They won 130-124. While Boston's hopes for an outright playoff berth are certainly diminishing, they get a chance to play Miami tomorrow night in Boston with a head-to-head tiebreaker at stake. A win would keep Boston alive for the 6th seed, but here's the key. Here's the key what I'm about to say for all you Celtics fans out there. A loss for you guys tomorrow night guarantees an appearance in the play-in scenario. I repeat, all Celtics and Heat fans need to listen up to this. This is a big game tomorrow night between Miami and Boston. The winner assures themselves the 6th seed in the East. The loser is going to be in the play-in scenario come May 18th in the Eastern Conference. Because remember, like I said, the play-in tournament is going to start May 18th. This is a big one for Miami and Boston. Miami has a 2-game lead against Boston right now. If Miami loses tomorrow night, Boston's alive for the 6th seed. Miami wins, they'll be up by 3 games against Boston in the East with at least 3 games to go. So this is a big game for Miami and Boston tomorrow night on TNT. It's a double dip. This is a big one. Like I said, it's a big one for both Miami and Boston tomorrow night. If you're a Heat and Celtics fan, you got to be rooting for both teams tomorrow night to get that 6th spot. You want to stay alive. But in the West, meanwhile, the Pelicans and the Kings kept their slim playoff hopes alive yesterday with a win as well. Anthony Davis got a big win last night for LA. They upset Phoenix, like I said in the onslaught. He scored 42 points last night for LA. They got the win last night by 13, 123-110 last night over Phoenix. So if the play-in tournament began today, here's what the matches would be if the play-in tournament started today. Boston will take on Charlotte. The winner gets the 7th seed. The Wizards will take on the Pacers, the 9-10, The loser of the 7-8 would still be alive, but they would have to play the winner of the 9-10 East. The winner will get the 8th seed in the Eastern Conference. You got all that? I'll repeat that as we go. So, in the West, the Lakers would play the Warriors. The winner gets a 7. The 9-10 matchup will be the Grizzlies and Spurs going at. The loser of the 7-8 will play the winner of 9-10. The winner of this one will get the 8th seed in the West. You guys got all that? Let's take a look one more time. I'll repeat this one more time as we go. If the play-in tournament began today, here's your matchups that you would need to look for in the play-in tournament if it started today. The Celtics will take on the Hornets. The winner gets a 7th spot in the Eastern Conference. The 9 will take on the 10 East, which would be Washington and Indiana. The loser is eliminated. Here we go. In the East, the loser of the 7-8 will play the winner of 9-10. The winner in the East gets the 8th spot. Now let's head to the West. if the play-in tournament began today in the Western Conference. You would have Steph Curry and the Warriors taking on LeBron and AD and the Lakers. The 7th seed would be determined by the winner. The winner gets the 7th seed. Now we go to a 9-10, which would be Memphis and San Antonio. The loser is out. The loser of the 7-8 will play the winner of 9-10. The winner gets the 8th seed in the West. You guys got all that? We'll have more about it tomorrow. So let's go to the National Hockey League and the hot button topic, and we'll wrap it up for today. So, and like I said, we have a few announcements to make as well, so stick and stay for that. Let's get to the latest news from the NHL. We will talk about let's talk about the playoff buzz. That is our hot button topic today. The Golden Knights can clinch the West Division today. Let's take a look at the clinch scenarios for this evening in the National Hockey League. There are 9 games on the schedule tonight. 6 of these games have playoff implications. We'll preview it all on the hot button topic in the National Hockey League. Excuse me. So, the Montreal Canadiens can clinch a berth in this year's Stanley Cup playoffs if they get at least 1 point against Edmonton. Vegas can clinch the number 1 seed in the Honda West Division and the President's Trophy if they defeat Colorado tonight. I'll repeat this one more time. Here's the clinch scenarios for tonight in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Montreal can clinch a berth in this year's playoffs if they get a point against Edmonton. Vegas, on the other hand, can clinch the number 1 seed in the Honda West, and they will get the President's Trophy if they defeat Colorado. Here are the 9 games on the schedule tonight, with 6 of these with playoff implications, everyone. So here we go. We'll start with Edmonton and Montreal. As I so elegantly put, this is a big one for Montreal. Let's take a look. Montreal has lost 3 in a row. They're 4th in the North. They're 2 points behind 3rd place Winnipeg. They can clinch a playoff berth if they get at least a point. On the other side for Edmonton, here's their scenario. They can clinch number 2 in the division. They will have home ice advantage either against Winnipeg or Montreal in the first round. They have clinched the number 2 seed in the division, and they will have home ice against either Winnipeg or Montreal. I repeat this as we go. The Islanders will take on Boston in Boston tonight. It's the final regular season game for the Islanders, who are 4th in the East. They're 1 point behind 3rd place Boston. If the Islanders do not win in regulation, they will play Pittsburgh, the number 1 seed in the division, in the first round. Boston is 4 points behind the 2nd place Capitals with a game in hand. Let's take a look at the Sunshine State showdown between Tampa Bay and Florida. The Panthers and Lightning will play each other in the first round, and this game is going to decide who gets home ice in the best of 7. The Panthers are in 2nd place. They're 2 points ahead of the Lightning in the Central, heading into the final game of the regular season. The Panthers need 1 point to secure the number 2 seed. If Tampa Bay wins in regulation, it would tie Florida in points and gets number 2 seeds because they would have more regulation wins over Florida, 30-25. Now let's take a look at Vancouver and Winnipeg. The Jets are 1-8-0 in their last 9, and they're 3rd in the North. They're 2 points ahead of 4th place Montreal with 1 game in hand. They have clinched a playoff berth. The Canucks, on the other hand, have lost 7 of their past 8 games. They're 7th place in the North, 14 points behind Montreal with 5 games in hand, but will be eliminated from playoff contention with a loss, or if Montreal gets a point against Edmonton. Nashville against Carolina. This game does not have playoff implications, but this is a first-round preview of the upcoming NHL playoffs. Carolina clinched the number 1 seed in the Central. They will have home ice in their best of 7 against Nashville, who also clinched the playoff berth. It's the regular season finale for each of these teams. Carolina is 6-1-0 against Nashville this season. Let's take a look at the final game with playoff implications tonight. Of the 9, this is the 6th one, the final game that has playoff implications between Colorado and Vegas. Vegas can clinch the number 1 seed in the West and the President's Trophy with a win. They have won 3 in a row and are 4 points ahead of second place Colorado. Colorado has won 2 straight, and they've won 5 of their past 6. They're a point ahead of third place Minnesota with 1 game in hand. Like I said, you guys, we'll tell you all what these games mean. There's 9 games tonight on the schedule. 6 of these with playoff implications. Like I said, the clinch scenarios are as follows. Montreal can clinch a playoff berth in this year's Stanley Cup playoffs if they get a point against Edmonton. Vegas can clinch the No. 1 seed in the Honda West Division and the President's Trophy if they defeat Colorado. We'll repeat these games that have playoff implications tonight. Edmonton will take on Montreal. The Islanders will take on the Bruins. The Lightning will take on the Panthers. The Canucks will take on the Jets. The Carolina Hurricanes take on Nashville. The Colorado Avalanche will take on the Vegas Golden Knights. That's your hot button topic in the National Hockey League. But before we go, we have a few announcements to make. First announcement, everyone. Don't forget, Wednesday night, the NFL schedule release is out on Wednesday night on ESPN2 and NFL Network. And you can watch it on ESPN. You can also stream it on ESPN Plus. 8 o'clock Eastern Time. The NFL schedule release is out this Wednesday night. So tune in for that. 8 o'clock Eastern Time. That's the first announcement that I'm going to say today. This is the NFL schedule release, the biggest season ever. Wednesday night, 8 o'clock, ESPN2. You can stream it on ESPN Plus. You can also watch it on NFL Network. It's a schedule release for the biggest season ever, the 2021-2022 NFL regular season is going to be, the schedule release is out on Wednesday, 8 o'clock on ESPN2, NFL Network. You can also stream it on ESPN Plus. Here's the second announcement that I'm about to make as well. We have the dates that are determined for the USA Games for Special Olympics. I'm going to make that announcement right now. I'm going to tell you guys the dates that you're going to need to mark on your calendar. I'm going to tell you it right now on the Sports Report Express. We're also going to make some Special Olympic announcements as well. So this is what the Sports Report is all about. So we're going to make an announcement. We have important dates for USA Games. It was just texted to me this morning, so we'll tell you the announcements. So here are the important dates you need to look at. So, Tuesday, May 25th, the coach for Team Florida will be announced on Tuesday, May 25th. June 1st to June 7th, the selection will be announced for the athletes that will be selected for this year's USA Games for next year. Like I said, they're going to announce the coaches for Team Florida starting Tuesday, May 25th. The selection process will be announced on June 1st through the 7th for the athletes who are selected for USA Games next year in Orlando. Training camp will be on June 8th. It'll be invitations that will be sent out to the training camps depending upon the sport you're competing in. That's June 8th. June 26th, 10 a.m. to noon. It's the virtual training camp number 1 on Saturday, June 26th from 10 a.m. to noon. The team meetings, that'll be virtual on August 2nd through August 5th. It'll be weeknights. It'll be split by every sport. So I'll repeat these as we go. August 2nd to August 5th, it'll be team meetings. That means if you're picked for USA Games for next year, you're going to meet virtually August 2nd through August 5th, depending upon what sport you're competing in. Second, training camp in person, September and October 2021 this year. The sports will be split. It'll be specific dates, and the times and location will be determined. Training camp number 3 is virtual, December 16th, 6 to 8 p.m. for athletes in the supplemental drawing. We'll repeat these one more time for you guys. Team Florida will be announced. The coaches will be announced on Tuesday, May 25th. The athlete selection process will be announced on June 1st to June 7th. The training camp invitations will be sent out on June 8th. Training camp number 1 is virtual from 10 a.m. to noon on June 26th. That's a Saturday, June 26th. The team meetings will be virtual from August 2nd to August 5th. That'll be weeknights, depending upon what sport you're competing in. It's going to be split. September and October this year, you'll have training camp number 2 in person. The locations will be determined and also the specific dates as well. And finally, training camp number 3 for for the Sacramento athletes in the drawing. This will be Thursday, December 16th. That is your announcements on the Sports Report Express. I am Sportscaster 89. Wish you all a tremendous Monday afternoon. Hope you have a great day. We'll see you all tomorrow for another edition of Sports Report Express. We'll hop aboard it. We'll recap the night in sports. We'll preview the MLB action from. We'll preview tomorrow. We'll preview tonight. We'll preview tomorrow night's action with St. Lucie and Daytona, and let's tell you what's going on in the Sports Report Express tomorrow. We'll do the hop on and topics tomorrow. We'll also give you the scores from all the action from the NHL, the NBA, and MLB. We'll discuss hop on topic, and that'll be it for Tuesday on the Sports Report Express. So come on back tomorrow, everyone. I hope you all have a tremendous day. And don't forget, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel at Sportscaster89. I am Sportscaster89. Wish you all a tremendous day. We will see you all tomorrow for another edition of the Sports Report Express train. I am Sportscaster89. Wish you all a tremendous day. See you all tomorrow. Have a great day, everyone.